So, another only talking without video episode because I just want to talk. And I'm gonna make sure that I'm in a place where there is not a lot of echo mecco, so that it is a tiny bit nicer, a tiny bit better. I don't really actually know why I'm doing this because it is actually, I don't want to say that it is dumb, but yeah, I mean, I could be doing better things, I guess, or something. I mean, just having a video in front of me is also not that of a bad thing, but now I'm able to just sit somewhere in my room and just talk about something. But yeah, anyway, I also don't really know what to talk about or what I'm gonna talk about. So you're probably gonna see in the title what the whole video and or podcast is all about. And yeah, the thing is, yesterday I've been working out. Today I've been working out, and yesterday I've once again completely just overdone it. I don't actually know why I'm so prone to just doing too much. The thing is, in the very just beginning of the week, the workout just really feels not light. It is still intense and it is still like work, but it is like, I want to do more, and I've then also done more, and I think this was the problem. So please stick to your program. If your program says to this amount of sets and this amount of reps and that's it, do it, please. Don't do just or make the mistake as I'm doing it and just try to be like, I don't know, a superhuman being, which you're not. And please keep that in mind, because just feeling overtrained and feeling kind of just really drained, basically, as well, not only overtrained, but drained and like not a lot of energy. Also from time to time not that motivated and all sorts of that shit is not cool. It's completely not cool, and it is something that you should really be avoiding. So please stick to your program, and also kind of consider whether your program is smart, whether it makes sense or not. Because if you're overdoing things, you're basically only fatiguing yourself, and that's quite it. There's not a lot of benefits to just really doing a ton of more work. There is benefits. We still don't know where the curve is ending, basically, and what it is looking like. But in general, it is like, no, don't just really overdo it. Like 10 to 20 sets per muscle group per week seems to be the appropriate amount of work you should be doing. At this point in time, I think I'm at, 60 per week or something of sets, which kind of seems to be insane. But I do have to say that 10 to 20 feels very, very, very low. Very low, like really low. And I still have to check whether this is per muscle group or, it must be quite, because the thing is, I'm not only doing one exercise per muscle group. I'm having like 5. Yes. But yeah, anyway. So this is the first point, please. And this is actually a very common theme to just actually talk about overtraining and being a dumb motherfucker when I'm just not having a video in front of me, or when I'm just not videographing myself or something. I don't know. The thing is, just please don't do this. Please be smarter than I am and look for the long term and do medium amounts of work throughout the whole week. Because I actually want to do 6 workouts a fucking week. The thing is, you can't work out really hard and really long. It's just not working out. You have to rest and your body has to recover. And this is something that I'm noticing. Like, my body tells me, like, wow, motherfucker, I do just have to recover. And the amount of recovery that you give me is just really not that much. And especially if your sleep is a little bit fucked up, like mine is at this point in time, which is something that I do not understand, because I really don't know why. I'm working out, I'm doing quite a lot of things, so I should be kind of tired, but I'm not. This is the point, I'm not. But yeah, anyway. And also, if you're having a leather jacket, please, what the fuck am I doing here? I just have to solve that really quickly, because if you're storing your leather jacket in the wrong way, you're fucking destroying it. And this is something that I've just done, and it is not cool. So I just really quickly have to, could you please go away there? Okay. Just really quickly have to solve this, because I do not want to fuck with my fucking leather jacket. It's really not something that I want to do. I do just have to have a look whether the recording is still running and everything is smooth and all right and nice. And yes, it seems to be the case. So yeah, try out other things. The whole without video and stuff, it's apparently, or just in the very first beginning, it was something that I just wanted to try out and I wanted to see how it is working. And I clearly see that I pretty much like it. I do just kind of have to think about some things that I should be talking about, that it would actually also be a little bit better and a little bit nicer also for you maybe. But I think at this degree or like that, it is quite fine, because also the funny thing is that sometimes I'm indeed just talking to myself in English, very important because it's not my primary language. It's not my main language. It's not the language that I'm normally speaking throughout my day. But I'm still using it because of whatever reason. I actually don't really know. I just like the language. Even though, and this is also something that I've seen, it seems to be or feels to be a little bit distant. When I'm, for example, talking about certain things like, I don't know, feelings and how I'm feeling and how I'm doing and all of those things that are quite personal and quite also impactful to some degree, of course, then it doesn't feel that bad. It doesn't feel that as if it was me and if it was just my feelings. It feels more like a distant thing. It feels more like, okay, this is what it is. It might be because like I don't know, I think it just completely has something to do with the language, and which might also be one of the reasons why I'm able to just talk about certain things on the podcast and don't feel bad about it. Because the thing is, there's definitely going to be some things, especially when it is about self-development and self-improvement, that a lot of people would be cringing about. And it is something that happens to me when people talk about self-development and self-improvement in German. It is something like, just don't please talk about that. It feels so cringy. And I don't know why. Maybe just because it is so direct. It's not that distant as it is with English. Since German is my main language and this is what I'm just normally talking in, might be because of this. I don't know. But it is a very funny thing and a very interesting thing as well. And yeah, food. I like food. At this point in time, I'm having an interesting relationship towards food because, I'm really consciously eating things, because of, the macronutrients and the micronutrients and all of those things, which leads to, I don't know. I mean, I can still enjoy my food, but I really believe that you also need to have a balance. That I do not want to necessarily say that I'm on a diet, because I consciously try to eat very healthy, and I wouldn't necessarily consider this a diet. I would just consider this like how you are supposed to be eating. Of course, diet in terms of not I'm dieting, in terms of like, okay, I'm just restricting myself of something because I want to lose weight. No, but it's my diet, quite. It's just how I'm eating. Like in this case or in this sense, yes, it is. If this makes sense, I really don't know. But the thing is, I don't know. Like you really have to be smart about those things, and you really need to have balance in I think just in life in general. I mean, you can work all day, yes, but there has to be some time where you're resting. There really has to be. Whether it is about physical work, whether it is about mental work, you need to rest. And the funny thing about just working out and then resting, which is sometimes if you're, for example, taking a week off, then it is called deloading. And it is actually a very smart thing and a very just sensible thing to do, because you are just creating some sort of sensitivity towards the workouts. The longer you work out, the less sensitive you seem to get to the workout, which means that you're not going to get such a great pump. Your muscles are not going to get stimulated that much and all sorts of things. But if you take off a week completely, then you're able to achieve another stimulus. You're just deloading. You're just letting your body actually also fully recover, which is an amazing thing and a very important thing as well. And so I think it's not only the case with working out, but it is also the case with whatever the fuck you're doing. Also with just diet and eating. I mean, if you're fine and if you're just completely okay with how you're eating and stuff, then God, please do it. If you're feeling great, if you're healthy and everything, then just please move on like you're doing it. And but I kind of feel like that sometimes, sometimes we need to take some time off, sometimes, it really is sometimes. And this is also something to consider and also something to balance. When can I just take one day off when it is about just dieting or something? And there's actually something pretty interesting that Jocko Willink, the ex-Navy SEAL, says. He says that in terms of diet and in terms of eating, you should be clean 99.9% of the time. And also in terms of working out, you should be working out as much as you possibly can. But if there is some time in your life where you just can't work out, then it is okay to take just these days off. But only if your life is like, okay, you can't work out now. In terms of like, if there are certain events, if there are certain things going on in your life which just make you not be able to work out, then it is fine. But if it is not the case, then it is not fine to take off some time. Which is very strict. And I mean, I don't know, it just is kind of how he is, isn't it, the case? But I can also just clearly understand it. I think it is a relatively good approach, yes. But something else to point out is that something else to point out is that if you just talk about doing sports, then you don't have to lift weights just 7 days a week. I mean, there's also cardio, there's also just some other sports that you might be doing, and so on. And so, yeah, you might consider not taking a day off, but you're just going to do a different type of sport. You're going to do a different type of stimulus. I mean, I don't know. I'm just I'm doing calisthenics and a little bit of lifting weights for just certain parts of my body that I'm not able to train with calisthenics, at least not that well or not that isolated. Let's say biceps. But I'm also just adding weights to those bodyweight movements because of making it harder, and also because of just progressing, actually. If I'm constantly doing the exact same thing, of course, I might vary in just the amount of sets that I'm doing. It might vary in the amount of reps that I'm doing. But I don't know, like it feels boring, But bodyweight is definitely something that I can highly, highly, highly suggest for everyone, And I do think that it is a crucial part for everyone because you are building different amounts of strength and also you're building a different body. In terms of if you're just, for example, doing a sit-up let's take the push-up. If you're doing a push-up, you're incorporating way more muscles than if you're just doing a bench press. You have to balance your weight, you have to stay straight, and all sorts of things. Like there's a lot of things that go into just doing a push-up, which is something that you're not training when you're doing a bench press. So I totally believe that calisthenics and doing bodyweight exercises and movements is definitely something that we all should be doing. Whether we are just lifting weights anyway or we're doing something else, I totally believe that we all should be incorporating this into our workouts. And I don't know, like in terms of working out in general, just because I think about it, you don't have to do that much, to be honest. You have to be just going to your, but the thing is, like, you don't have to do that much. It's not that necessary to just really completely kill yourself. Like I'm doing it, yeah. Like the thing is, I don't have to do it. There is some sort of a minimum effective load that you can take onto your body, and it is very low. It is like 2 sets per week or something, which means that now this is maintenance, but maybe, 3 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets to build muscle with the smallest amount of stimulus. It's not going to be a huge amount of muscle that you're going to build. It's not a huge amount of stimulus, but you're doing it. You're progressing quite. You're not only maintaining, but you're also building muscle. And it is not that much. It really is not. But of course, if you want to go to just your limits and if you want to just get as much out of it as you possibly want to, as you can actually, then yes, you can fuck yourself. But,